Come on, we have to have a little cherry on top of chocolate mousse, don't you think? Gonna get a little what is it? Maraschino cherry. I'm just gonna top that off. And a couple of things. You could dust this with cocoa powder if you want, or if you've got like a thick piece of chocolate or whatever. I am going to kind of shave this chocolate bar. Let's see how that works. Hi everyone, I'm Amy Roloff, and I'm in my little kitchen. Today we're going to talk about chocolate again, so of course that puts a smile on my face, and we are going to make chocolate mousse. It's been a while, but this time I am using egg yolks and egg whites separated. I've got some cream here. I have about 5 ounces of chocolate, like a chocolate bar, chopped up. I used a little bit of semi-sweet and 60%, and then some butter in here. In fact, I think my water is starting to boil because we're gonna melt the chocolate. I'm using a hot water bath method. I prefer that method over the microwave because I just feel like I have more control over melting the chocolate and less chance of it seizing up. And we're gonna keep the chocolate warm enough so that we can temper the egg yolks. And kind of what I mean by that, and you have to be very careful because believe me, I've messed it up. My chocolate was too hot, and then you're like scrambling the yolk in there and it's cooking like yolks, egg yolks, scrambled eggs. And so you want to keep the chocolate warm enough so that you kind of cook the egg yolks without cooking them, if that makes sense. So we've got a lot of different parts here. We're gonna melt the chocolate, then we're gonna temper the egg yolks and put that in the chocolate mixture. We're gonna whip up the egg whites. We're gonna whip up some cream. This is about a 1 cup. I'm gonna flavor this mousse with about 2 teaspoons, a little more, of espresso powder. That is a lot different than just coffee, ground coffee. Espresso powder is, I think, a richer, deeper flavor, but it's also like powdered sugar almost. And then we have 2 tablespoons of sugar and a little bit of vanilla. I think that's enough. So I'm just gonna put this over there. I'm just gonna let this melt a little bit. And it's really why I'd rather use a chocolate bar over chocolate chips. I am going to put the egg whites in here. I almost got a shell in there, people. Okay, there's 1 yolk, but I got all the yolks in here, or the egg whites in here. Whisk up these egg yolks a little bit. Okay, you can still see the chocolate pieces, but look at that. It is melting up very nicely. I'm gonna start whipping up my whipped cream and then I'll do my egg whites. See, I think that it's soft enough so that you can fold it without the whipped cream being too stiff. I wanted you to see my chocolate. See how smooth it is? So we're gonna put in a little bit of sugar here, and then here we go. The egg whites will take a little bit, and you want firm egg white peaks, but not stiff. Because again, just like the whipped cream, you want to be able to fold it into everything. Okay, here's my egg white. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but see how the peaks curl over and they stand, but it's not too stiff. I'm just gonna fold in the egg yolk into the cream. I know you're probably wondering why into the cream. Well, this will help tempering too. So we're pouring the melted chocolate, still warm, into the whipped cream, egg yolk mixture. And I think there we go. Okay, now for the egg whites. Okay, now for the egg whites. I'm gonna fold in just a little bit of the egg whites. You still wanna be able to keep that fluff. That's why we're folding it instead of just stirring it. You and I together are gonna see if this works. So I'm gonna put in the rest of these egg whites. We're done. So this is chocolate mousse. Now, what you can do is that put it in the refrigerator for at least anywhere from 4 to 6 hours or overnight. It's a great dessert to make ahead of time, but this will probably just be in the refrigerator for about 4 or 6 hours for tonight because Chris and I are going to have a little bit of it. Hi, I am back. It is the next day where I am done making the chocolate mousse. You should leave it in the fridge anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. So feel free to make it ahead of time or leave it in the fridge for overnight. And that's what I did. So I think I'm gonna have myself a special treat. I love chocolate mousse. It is light, it is creamy. It's a great complement of a dessert after a good meal. So let's decorate this up a little bit. I made some homemade whipped cream. I'm gonna just stir this around a little bit because it got a little stiff. So we're just gonna add that little dollop there. I'm gonna use, come on, we have to have a little cherry on top of chocolate mousse, don't you think? Gonna get a little what is it? Maraschino cherry. I'm just gonna top that off. And a couple of things. You could dust this with cocoa powder if you want, or if you've got like a thick piece of chocolate or whatever. I am going to kind of shave this chocolate bar. Let's see how that works. Because I don't think this is really the right chocolate. So I'm just going to do a couple of, oh yeah, little sprinkles of chocolate. And this is semi-sweet. So I'm just using like a peeler. There we go. So here we are, chocolate mousse.